Welcome Culture Crew to the year of Bitcoin Mania 2021. What the heck is going on with Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, and what am I gonna do with my money this year? Am I going to invest it heavily into this cryptocurrency craze that's going on right now? Let me start off by telling you what actually is Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. I'm gonna focus on just Bitcoin for this quick explanation because I don't wanna bore you guys to death. For those of you who have been living under a rock for the last 10 years, I'm gonna give you the real quick rundown of what Bitcoin is. It started off as a way to pay someone else without having to have a third party or a bank in between that transaction. Most of us don't even realize that when you swipe your credit card or you buy on PayPal, there's an intermediary that's fronting the money or making sure that they oversee that transaction. Now, with Bitcoin, we don't need that. I can pay you for a haircut, I can pay you for a pizza, I can pay someone on the other side of the world instantaneously. And the best thing about it is that no one ever has to know about it. Now, there are some definite downsides to that because there were people buying drugs and doing illegal things with Bitcoin initially early on, so it did get a really bad rap. But now it's starting to get a lot of positive light on it, and institutions are even starting to invest in it. If you still don't understand and you're not following me, all of this cryptocurrency or the Bitcoin that I'm mentioning to you right now is not really something you can hold in your hand. It's basically just computer code, for lack of a better terminology, that exists on a bunch of nodes all over the world, which is called the blockchain. Now, the blockchain cannot be taken down because it lives on so many different computers and networks that if the government wanted to shut it down, they'd have to shut down the entire internet. It's just not possible. The other way of taking it down would be just way too expensive for anyone to ever see any positive outcome out of it. So it's pretty much tamper-proof. Today, Bitcoin is used more as a store of wealth than it is a currency, because just imagine, what if you paid for a pizza or you paid someone you owed money to in Bitcoin and tomorrow it shot up 10 or 20%? That's exactly what's happened with Bitcoin since its inception. So today it's considered to be gold 2.0 or the millennials gold because it's holding its value so well against the US dollar. The reason why they're calling it that is because there's only 21 million Bitcoin that will ever be mined. And we won't get to that number until the year 2140, give or take a couple months. So because of that, it's considered to be an actual finite resource. Even gold can't say that because we don't know how much gold there is in the world. And then one day we might start mining gold on different planets or even on asteroids. So because of that, it's actually not a finite resource like Bitcoin is. The way that Bitcoin is mined is by solving complicated algorithmic problems or puzzles. And just like gold, mining Bitcoin is very labor intensive. Well, not so much on us, but on our computer power. And depending on where you are in the world, the price of electricity could be a lot higher than it is here in the United States. In 2009, when Bitcoin first came on the scene, you would get rewarded 50 Bitcoin for every block that you would mine. But every 4 years after, it would go through what's called a halving. That means that 50 now becomes 25. So people would get 25 Bitcoin for every block they would mine. And then it went through another halving, which brought it down to 12.5. And today, you only get 6.25 Bitcoin for every block you mine. The reason why it was created this way is because around the world and throughout history, fiat currency like the US dollar has always been inflationary. But Bitcoin was created to actually be deflationary, which means that your buying power actually goes up over time. And the only way to do that is to make it harder to get Bitcoin as time goes by. At the time of this recording, there's only been 18.5 million Bitcoin that have been mined. And right now, the market cap for Bitcoin is $500 billion, give or take. The market cap of gold is $9 to $12 trillion, depending who you ask and what day it is. And because of that, there's a lot of opportunity for Bitcoin to continue going up. And if it were to match the market cap of gold, we're talking about like $1 million Bitcoin. Why is Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies getting so much attention? Well, let's start with the obvious, the price. It has been exploding over the last few months. In 2020 alone, it's gone up several 100%. And some of the altcoins have even gone up more than that. If you can remember this far back, in 2008, we started to have a lot of problems in the economy and a lot of money printing going on as well. And to directly combat this, Bitcoin was created, and because of the pandemic, more money is being created now than ever before in human history. As a matter of fact, for every dollar you hold in your hand, 25 cents of that dollar was created in 2020. And most recently, we have another stimulus package that's going to add another $1 trillion, give or take, to the deficit. And then if we start to send out more stimulus checks or a recurring stimulus check every month, that's more money printing. That means that it's going to go directly to inflation, because people are going to spend that money, put it into the economy, which is going to make everything go up in price. But if you hold your money in assets such as real estate, gold, stocks, and now Bitcoin, you're going to experience a lot of positive gains. One of the other major catalysts that we've seen for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies this year is that a lot of institutions and funds are adopting this as a real asset. Not only that, but the platforms that we use for financial services such as PayPal, Robinhood, WEBULL, a lot of places that we do our investing in is now starting to give you the option to actually purchase Bitcoin and crypto. It's making it a lot easier for us and to go into a different platform that we've never heard of before. And I've heard this myself from people that I've introduced to sites like Coinbase, that it looks like a bogus website or it looks very shady. So for most people who are not used to that, but they're used to these other platforms, such as like a PayPal, which we all know and love, then it makes it more of a viable investment for us. While you're watching this video, you're probably asking yourself, how high can Bitcoin continue to go? Well, that's a great question. I'll start off by telling you this. There are some very respected people in this industry that have a very high target, which I'll get to in just a second. But let me just explain to you this much. Right now, all of Bitcoin, the entire market cap of all the coins, only represent about 0.5% compared to all other investments and equities such as the stock market. So it's a very, very small market right now. If investment funds start to just take a small percentage of their money and allocate it into Bitcoin, it could send this way higher than it is right now. As a matter of fact, there's a gentleman by the name of Max Kaiser who has been one of the forefront investors from the very beginning in Bitcoin. His target for this year, guys, is $228,000 by the end of 2021. Actually, not even the end. He said by November of 2021, it could see as high as $228,000. Now, I'm not saying this is what's going to happen. I'm just telling you what some people out there are saying. Now, what am I doing? Well, I'm going to give you guys my strategy towards the end of this video, because I always do, and I want to tell you guys what I'm doing, and hopefully that encourages you to do your own research. There are a new gang of investors that are in the market this time that weren't in the market back in 2017 when we had that tremendous run-up. And the reason why this is important is because it's going to stabilize the price more than it's ever been before. Let me give you an example of some of the players. There's a company by the name of MicroStrategies. The CEO is a gentleman by the name of Michael Saylor. He took over $1 billion and purchased Bitcoin with it just a few months ago. And since then, Bitcoin has run up 300%. And so has his stock price. Now people are just buying his stock because its holdings are all in Bitcoin. So it's basically like buying Bitcoin because you're buying the company. Another player that has joined the gang is the city of Miami. And lastly, ARK Invest, who a lot of you watching this video know very well who they are. They have a fund manager by the name of Kathy Woods, who's a very intelligent person. She's probably ranked on top 3 fund managers out there. She can't hold any Bitcoin or Ethereum in her fund because it's against the rules. So she did the next best thing. She bought Grayscale, which is a trust that holds Bitcoin and Ethereum. And because she's done that, her fund is exploding. So I took a page out of her book and I bought a little Grayscale just a few days ago. And just in these days, I'm up 40% on that investment. 40%. That's wild, guys. I've never seen those kinds of returns, and I don't know how long that's gonna last for, but I'll take it while I can get it. Now that I piqued your interest, you're probably asking yourself, how do you buy cryptocurrency? Well, the easiest way to do that is by going on platforms like Coinbase or Gemini. You can even use Robinhood and WEBULL or PayPal, believe it or not. The ways that you can fund your account is by either sending in a wire, doing an ACH, which basically means you're going to connect your app or the website to your bank account and allow it to communicate so you can pull money right out. And some exchanges even allow you to use your credit card or your debit card. I don't suggest that you use credit cards or debit cards because there are extra fees that are associated to using that. But now that we got that out of the way, you're probably going to say to yourself, well, I don't know which coins to buy. Well, I'm going to give you some strategies I've been given by some of the viewers of this channel who have commented on some of the videos I've done. The most popular one by market share is going to be Bitcoin. That's the one that we all know. That's kind of the household name. That one is expected to do extremely well this year, and it's probably going to be the safest one. The second one is Ethereum. When you think of Bitcoin being like gold, they say Ethereum is like oil because it has a lot of functionality and it's going to power other coins. So that's your second investment, and this year it's probably going to even do better than Bitcoin from all the research I've been doing. I just want to say this really quickly. I am not a Bitcoin or a cryptocurrency expert, but I have been doing extensive research over the last few weeks, and I've known about this technology for a few years, but I'm only getting involved with it now because now it's finally starting to stabilize. There's a lot of other coins that have made big splashes in 2020, and into 2021, they can even do better than Bitcoin and Ethereum. If you guys want to know more about those, I will be doing videos in the future, so make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be alerted when that video is ready. Now, obviously with any investment, there's always risk, and Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are no different. One of the major risks you're going to experience is that there's going to be wild swings. There's been times when Bitcoin has been down 90%, and if you don't have the stomach for that, maybe investing in cryptocurrencies isn't for you. But if you do have some money that you're okay with missing out on or losing or not touching for the next few years, I think you're going to do really well. And the problem with it is that most people are not. And the first time they see their investments going red, they sell. And that's why we've had such huge swings in the past. But now, fast forward to 2021, there's a lot of institutional money that's coming in, which doesn't panic sell. They hold for the long run, and they're expecting there to be 40% drops, 20% drops, and that's just another opportunity for them to keep purchasing even more. So if you fundamentally believe in the technology that cryptocurrency has, then you're going to want to hold out for the long term. Don't just panic and think the world is coming to an end and sell all your Bitcoin, because there will be an institutional buyer ready to buy it from you. The other risk that we have is using cryptocurrency to pay other people or pay for things. If we're off by only one digit in their address, well, the chances of us ever seeing that money again are almost zero. So if you're going to pay someone, you're better off paying them with credit card or using Cash App or something else. Just don't use your cryptocurrency unless you know what you're doing. One of the other nightmares out there for Bitcoin or any cryptocurrency is that your computer can get hacked. And if it does, well, you risk the chance of losing your Bitcoin. And once they're gone, guys, they're gone. It's almost untraceable. There's been a lot of stories out there of people getting their stuff hacked, or even people throwing out their laptops where they had their Bitcoin stored. So don't be like them. A lot of people, what they've done is they've taken the Bitcoin off for a cold storage is what it's called. That's when you take your Bitcoin offline or off any exchange and you hold it in a device called a Trezor or a Ledger. And what that allows you to do is basically protect it by not having it out there in the internet world, I guess you would call it, where someone can hack your system or hack the exchange that you're on and they could take your investment. But the good thing is that most exchanges that we use nowadays, such as Coinbase or even Gemini, they have a huge insurance policy that will cover you if they ever get hacked. Now, in the past, we haven't been that lucky, and there's been investors who have lost out on millions, and one day it's probably going to be even more than that, because that exchange got ripped off and all of the investments were gone. Now, luckily that doesn't happen anymore now because of more security measures, but just keep in mind, guys, if you really want to protect your investment, you're going to want to keep them offline or what's called cold storage. Now, let me just explain that a little bit further. If an exchange gets hacked, you have insurance, which means that you'll be made whole. They may not give you the Bitcoin back, but they may give you the cash equivalent. Now, personally, I would rather have the Bitcoin because there is going to be a scarcity of Bitcoin one day, and God knows if you'll ever be able to buy another one. But the downside to that is that the insurance doesn't cover you if your computer gets hacked. So if for whatever reason your password gets hacked or your phone gets hacked and you lose your Bitcoin, well, you're just out of luck. They're not going to cover you. Since crypto has been gaining so much legitimacy, there's companies like Nexo, BlockFi, and Celsius. They'll actually pay you interest on your crypto as long as you store it with them. The good thing about it is that it's insured and you can collect anywhere between 0.5% to 12%. Now, for most people, this is not life-changing money, but for some of you who have a lot of Bitcoin and a lot of crypto, you could actually live off of that. One of the major upsides of investing in cryptocurrency is that it's very liquid. If you guys ever try to sell real estate, it can take you months, if not years, depending on what type of real estate it is. If you ever try to sell stock, you have to wait until the market's open. But with crypto, it trades 24/7. So you can actually be Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, you want to buy some crypto or sell some crypto, it's done just like that, instantaneously. And the more in demand the coin is, the quicker the transaction will clear. So you can basically have your money back out of crypto or cash out of crypto within seconds, and then you can send that money back to your bank account within a few minutes as well. So very liquid asset. That's why I like it so much. After investing in so many different things, the fact that crypto is so easy to get in and out of really makes it appealing for most investors. So what are my final thoughts on crypto and how am I going to be investing into it? Let me just start off by thanking one of our viewers by the name of Stan, who recently put Bitcoin and cryptocurrency back on my radar recently. And I told him that I'd be doing some more further research. And when I started looking, the signs were all there. So I'm personally going to be investing heavily into the cryptocurrency space, and I'm going to be educating myself as much as possible. One of the things I have been learning, guys, and to be honest with you, it's becoming more of a legitimate way of investing. So much so that banks, institutions, and even cities, like I mentioned earlier, are taking a lot of their hard-earned cash and investing it into cryptocurrency. Even recently, there's talks of even maybe Tesla taking part of their investment that they hold on the books as cash and parking it into Bitcoin. Now that's still a big what if, but if that does happen, guys, it's going to pave the way for a lot of other Fortune 500 companies, S&P 500 companies, and publicly traded companies to go out there and do the same thing. And if that happens, guys, I'm telling you right now, 100,000 Bitcoin is nothing. It's going to be more like $1 million Bitcoin. So if you guys enjoyed this video and you want to see more videos on cryptocurrency investing and what cryptocurrencies are going to be hot for 2021, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Make sure to hit subscribe and the notification bell so you can be alerted when any new videos come out. But before we go, I want to leave you guys with a quick joke. Why is Superman basically useless on Wednesday nights? It's because he has his weekly Bitcoin meetup, which is his crypto night. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. And if you want to support the channel, please check out our links down below. And if you want to learn more about us, just click on one of the videos on the screen right now. And we'll see you over there in just a few seconds.